What's up, guys? It's Shawn-jose from Majestic AF. We've been having some technical difficulties figuring this stuff out. You know what I mean? Like I have one right now. So hold on a second. Podcast and back at it. So my name is Shawn-jose. This is Majestic AF. This is where I talk to veterans and civilians about their mental health issues, and in hopes to reach out and show someone they're not alone, and maybe have them figure out that life's worth living. Tonight's guest is my boy, my homie, one of my dear friends I met down in here in Tennessee. He goes by the name Rabbit Rhino. He's an Army veteran, and he's a freaking stud. So let's jump in this. By the way, with these podcasts, we say with my health issues, it's gonna vary, and plus I'm still trying to figure this out with getting things ready with OBS and stuff like that. As you can see, we had technical difficulties leading up to this podcast. It's very stressful. My kidney problems. I'm still trying to make Majestic as fuck a household name and help as many people as possible. With that being said, I have a contingency plan. Uh, the people that live with me know I'm pretty banged up, and uh, it's just how it is. But I'm not gonna end the mission. So, needless to say, just as fuck is gonna still roll. I got backup host and everything, just in case I have to be on dialysis or worst case, you know what I mean? Majestic as fuck will lead on. So here we go. Here's my boy, this Rabbit Rhino, my motherfucking man. So,
What's up, bro?
what's up, buddy?
Chilling like
So,
a villain,
listen,
bro.
let me just give him a background. Let me give him a background story of how me and you met. So, I was at Applebee's, right? I was at Applebee's with my roommate at the time, Caleb, the weirdo, and you had a weird friend, and we were both bragging on our weird friends at the same time.
Tim,
But your
Tim,
weird
but dude,
friends
I was
were all
cutting that
fucking
dude up,
military
bro.
guys. Yeah. So then we started
Tim.
cracking jokes on both each other's weird friends. And then I believe we went to the Double O or some bar, and we called some dude out in like total stolen valor, saying he was in like a firefight in Guam, and then like was black ops in fucking North Korea and shit. We're like, whatever. His girlfriend though was totally believed him, like totally thought like it was all real. Like
You can
that's
easily
the
tell
fun.
stolen valid right away. All you got to
Oh,
do is just
dude, like
notice inconsistencies.
yeah, and dude, his girlfriend was like, just so you know, like he's definitely a fucking. He was definitely special forces in North Korea. It's like, bro, like,
Of course she'd say that. She was sucking his
okay,
dick.
yeah, dude, like that's the funniest part of it. It was fucking hilarious. And like me and you were like, okay. And then like they really thought they were gonna be about it, and they realized when we weren't worried about it, like it was me, you, and a fucking a bunch of studs. They realized they were softer than tissue paper, and that's when I was like, definitely fucking a bitch made. But anyway, so you know what this message is, and our mission here is to talk to veterans about mental health issues and the dark times. So let's get into a little bit of your time in service. What made you join the army?
Uh, I actually made a few mistakes in high school. I was ranked seventh in the nation at one point in wrestling, and I had like five full wrestling scholarships, two partials, and an academic. And I messed it all up by skipping school and making poor choices. And I knew that I wanted to go to college at that time. Now they push trade schools, or I would push a trade school at least, but I knew I wanted to go to college and I didn't want to pay for it. So it was out of the Navy, the Marines, the Army, Coast Guard really wasn't there, the Air Force. I was like, whatever. So it's kind of between the Navy and the Marine, the Navy and the Army. I basically signed up for the Army because the fucking recruiter wouldn't leave me alone. Like, he was like, you want to play softball? You want to go get something to eat? Every time I turn around, that motherfucker was behind my shoulder. I'm like, oh shit. So finally, I was just like, dude, if you leave me alone, I'll sign the fucking papers, bro. And that's why I went in the military.
Do you need one? Uh, So, dude, like, and that's the thing. Recruiters are so persistent and they're fucking good at their jobs. Like, my recruiter sucked. Guzman, where the fuck you are, deserve to punch you in the fucking gut. But
Well, it
so this is the
depends.
thing is
It
that
depends. Like the new people that try to sign up, I'm like, dude, you need to go to the recruiting office with somebody who's already been in, because they will
yes,
lie their
yes,
ass up to try to get you to go in and get you for the minimum. I was like, if you go in there
yeah,
with somebody who's already been through the experience, I was like, as long as you're not asking for anything, out of the ordinary, or something completely ridiculous, they'll give you what you want. But going towards the end of the month when they're trying to make their quota.
yes, yes. That's the thing is like every one of my buddies got signing bonuses. I got told like, oh, we're done doing signing bonuses, but you're gonna get, the post 9/11 GI Bill. They didn't get that. And I was like, oh shit, free school, and they didn't get free school. Yeah, I'll take that shit. And then, needless to say, I found out everyone got that. I got the fucking green weenie right up the butthole. Didn't get the $20,000 signing bonus because I was a fucking idiot.
No lube,
But
no lube.
no lube, dude, ever, bro. So this is the thing. I would like to thank everyone that's tuning in, and we got like 4 people watching as we speak, but that goes up later on. But it's just so weird that like dude, they are good, man. Like, I guess they have to pick up the sleaziest fucking recruiters. Like, they have to find the guys that are cool at like lying, dude. Like, and I tell everyone like that, like you said, to go with someone that's with that's been in this experience. Like, I've gone with one of my buddies before and like acted like I never was in and shit. And I was like, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. And he's like, how do you know that? I'm like, because I fucking actually was in, bro. Like, I know
Yeah.
all that shit's bullshit, dude.
You
But
call them out like, dude, don't try to bullshit a
oh,
bullshitter, dude. Not
yeah,
gonna work.
dude. Like, I was a part of the E4 Mafia, bro. Like, shit. I was almost like the godfather of that shit. But my buddy Jeff Pushman, that was on my
Shamfield.
show, he is the sham shit. He's the actual godfather of my unit's fucking E4 Mafia. And listen, recruits that are coming out, you can ask Rhino. The E4 Mafia is a real fucking thing. And, like, they stay fucking true to their fucking the code, bro. You don't talk about the E4 Mafia. You
Oh.
sham when you
Well,
shall sham.
you already just fucking talked about us, so I mean that
Oh
went out the
well,
window.
I'm out. Well, yeah, I'm out though. The E4 Mafia can't come get me now. But all right, so you were a wrestler before you joined, right? And pretty good fucking wrestler at that, right?
Yeah, like I said, at one point I was ranked seventh in the nation. I was highly recruited. I just liked it because my hand-eye coordination was off because I had surgery. And I also liked it because if you lost, you couldn't blame it on anybody but yourself. You couldn't say he didn't make the free throw, or he didn't kick the field goal right, or he didn't strike
Yeah,
them out, or you can't. You have guys in your corner, but if you don't take their advice, then you're going to lose. I mean, like I could tune anybody out. My mom could be yelling in the front row. My teammates could be screaming, and all I would hear was my coach. I mean, in a stadium like the state tournament, packed full like 10,000 people, I could hear my coach like, let him go, cut him. And I could hear him right as soon as he would say it, I would do it. And I just really liked it because of the aggressive nature. Like basically, you could just drop some dude on his forehead and get away with it. So to me, it came
yeah, dude.
natural.
Dude, like when it came to like doing jiu-jitsu and like wrestling and shit like that, like first off, my best friend got wrestled Jordan Tiberius. One of the main reasons why I do this. He's a great fucking dude, best friend since 5 years old. He was a state wrestler. Got fucking killed it, dude, and meant the world to me. He taught me a bunch, and then going into jiu-jitsu, freestyle who also passed away and stuff like that, and other quest of main. But I learned a lot. Well, I'm probably gonna have one of my coaches, Alo, bam, baby. One of the best guys taught me a whole bunch of stuff on in jiu-jitsu, and like still does. I called him the other day. We caught up on some stuff, and I was like, "Yo, bro, like next time I'm in New York, we gotta roll, and I gotta learn some new
I've
fucking techniques." And I
most of those
swear, I
guys that
gotta
are
roll
higher
too.
level, most of those guys that are higher level are pretty humble because they have that discipline. Like I train with Hoist Gracie, and he's one of the nicest dudes you ever meet. I train with the guy right now who's on the cusp of becoming real popular. He was an Ultimate Fighter. I went to college with him. He was a two-time national champion and two-time runner-up. He's a really great wrestler, and he taught me a lot too. And I used to get so fucking pissed at practice when he'd beat me. I'm like, nah, fucking go again, because you don't get better by beating people that you beat all the time. You have to
Yeah,
go with people
yeah,
that are better than you in order for you to push yourself, because you
yeah,
always lose. Whenever you lose, you learn more. Because whenever you win, you're like, okay, well, I won. Okay, but what did you do in those mistakes when you won? You have to go back and critique yourself, and put your ego aside to be like, okay, yeah, I won, but is this going to work on a high level guy? What if I fought a
yeah.
scrub or I wrestled a scrub? Like, it's not going to work on everybody. So you always have to
Uh,
continuously hone your game. If you watch the UFC stages in the earlier days, you had the guys that were just doing one straight discipline and that was it.
yeah, yeah,
Nowadays, you
yeah.
got guys that are really good in like two or three, and they're good in like four or five disciplines. Like you always have to be evolving, because if not, there's always that guy that's out there working
But
harder, working
exactly,
stronger,
like
getting faster.
look at Conor McGregor, man. He was focusing on just striking, dude, which he was one of the best. But when he met someone like Khabib, that's chain wrestling is fucking out of this world, bro.
I mean,
He got
I'm
eaten
not even
alive, bro.
I'm not even trying to sound cocky when I say this. I don't really truly believe that Conor was one of the great strikers. He reminds me of Mike Tyson. He beat you before that fight even started because he got in
Yes,
your head.
yes, yes.
He
Meant to,
he
yeah,
he
yeah,
mind fucked you, and sometimes a mind fuck is worse than a physical ass whooping,
yeah, yeah,
because they're in
yeah,
your head. They're renting space in your head for free. That's all they're doing,
yeah,
and you're letting them do it, which is even worse.
yeah. I honestly believe that too. I believe like he definitely won most fights before. But like, look at the people he couldn't get in their heads. Like Nate Diaz, the first fight. Then again, he said honestly, the second fight, I kind of think that was a toss up. Nate should have got the second fight and decision. But anyway, so
He did. He
listen,
tapped him out.
when
He tapped him out the second fight in a
oh
rear
yeah,
naked choke.
no, that was the first fight. That was the first fight. The second fight,
Oh yeah, that's
Connor,
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
they gave it to Connor. But anyway, so listen, what do you think as a veteran community we could do to stop the 22 today statistic, bro? Like, what do we need?
The first thing that veterans need to do is to stop depending on the VA for everything. Okay, like
Thank
the
you.
VA right now, they're great in some aspects because they help you, they pay you, they do lead you in some great areas, but overall, as an overall system, they're fucked.
Yeah,
You as a veteran, to keep your mind off of what you've gone through and what you've seen and what you've been through, you need an outlet. One of my outlets is music. I believe music can speak to the soul if it's worded properly. But you need a hobby, something that keeps your mind off of it, to where you're not thinking about stuff like that. I just turned to fighting and MMA. Some people turn to drawing. I've got another buddy who I help out occasionally. He builds stunt bikes, and he likes to go stunt bikes. And he's seen a lot more combat action than I have. You have to find your nerd zone, and you have to
yeah,
embrace it. And when I say nerd zone, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. Like, what moves you, what gets your
yeah,
juices flowing, and you have to direct a lot of your energy towards that to keep your mind off of things.
see, like that's the thing with me is like I found this as an outlet, and I also found like, dude, like I really want to help people, like, and now it's like a mission. Like when I made my contingency plan for this, just in case I get put on dialysis, just in case I'm stuck in a fucking bed because my health, because the VA takes forever, and like I'll probably die waiting for like results and stuff. I put on everything, like donations, everything. Like you don't understand, like all that merch I sell, all that goes donations, man. Like I don't keep a dime from it, and everyone that lives with me knows that shit. Like so, like why I push it and why I want people to freaking buy the merch is because you're not putting money in my pocket. Like Bonfire and all these print on demand stores that I use now because I wasn't mentally organized enough to get the shipments out for myself. All goes to freaking I donate the money like to veteran organizations. So my thing is like I even though I wrote all my calendar, it's like I motivate myself. Help at the end of every day I say help somebody if you can. Like because at the end of the day, like
Yeah,
I'd rather
well,
die a
you,
broke
you, you
man
can
helping people.
you can tell a lot about a person by how they get the significance of importance. What makes you feel important? To some people, it's helping people. To some people, it's helping animals. Some people, they're a
Yeah.
piece of shit. It's beating on women or degrading people or being a bully. I mean, you can tell a lot about a person by how they get their significance of importance. So, I mean, if you're
Yes.
going out and helping everybody, as long as you're trying your best, nobody can ask anything else from you. It's like, dude, I'm trying my best. You know what? I might not be perfect. I might not be doing 100%, but I'm new at this shit. At least I'm fucking giving it a try. What the fuck are you doing sitting there with your thumb up your ass, not doing a damn thing?
Yeah. And but that's the thing is like I truly feel like us as a whole, we need. I'm never gonna lose my connection with humanity, man. Like I feel like the more I help people, the more it gives me a purpose of living. Like, because I remember I just had a conversation with my boy BJ, great dude. He's actually I'm gonna try to get him a podcast under the collective, and like we talked about it, like I can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm in the gutter. We're all in the fucking gutter. Some of us are looking up at the stars, and I'm one of those guys looking at the stars. Like Mac Miller said it perfectly. Us, this guy never glued to your shoes, and that's how I live, man. Like I'm trying to always change my stars. I'm trying to motivate the people that I consider on my team to change their stars. Like you don't need to settle for mediocrity. You don't need to settle for bullshit. I grew up in a very non-wealthy family, and I learned fast that I didn't have the privileges to just be ordinary or fucking to just settle. So
Well,
I'm
no,
not gonna settle. I'm gonna
that's one of the things that can help the 22 statistics. If you get veterans that help other veterans, because right now the VA is not doing us really much of any good.
you know,
So I mean, like, and I've known people that have called that veteran crisis hotline,
yeah,
and their therapist wasn't available to talk to them, and all of a sudden when they just wanted to talk to somebody, like, I'm not trying to hurt myself, I'm not trying to hurt anybody else. All of a sudden they've got four cop cars that showed up to their house. Like, what the
yeah,
fuck is this? And they lose their confidence in the veterans chat line. So that's why we as a community, as veterans, need to sit together, because the VA really doesn't give a shit. It's really
shit,
sad
no,
when you have to find out how to work the system and play them to get what you want. I've gotten police escorted around the VA because I've gotten into arguments with these people, and I'm like, it's so stupid. And then when you get like unruly, they're like, oh well, you know what? We'll just give you this. And I'm like, why did it have to come to that? I was nice. I was polite. I said, please, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, sir. And I was like, you looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. All of a sudden, I go
yeah,
postal and you give me everything I was asking for when I was polite. Why did you need to do that?
yeah,
That's why a lot of
exactly.
veterans need to help take care of those, other veterans, because, you know, we're the ones that can truly help each other because we know what people went through.
And that's the thing is like that's I feel is like the only way we're gonna stop this. I don't mean to knock Mission 22. I support the shit in Mission 22, but the 22 push-ups that ain't doing fucking shit, dude. Like yes, I get it. It's to get people healthier and stuff, but half those people are doing 22 push-ups. If they just call their battle buddy or they reach out to anybody that they haven't talked to in a while, just checked on them, man. I think that goes a further way than you know what I mean, than anything else. We need to stay focused on helping each other, man. The community is a rich community. I think it was General Mattis that said we are not a broken community. We're just bent. We're one of the strongest communities in the world. We have some tinks in our armor, but man, like when it comes push comes to shove, the veteran community is the strongest community that I believe out there. And I just think we just picked up the phone a little more, reached out, did things like this. We could literally put a fucking stop to it. You know, I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
I mean, a friend and I were talking about it earlier today. We've touched on it a few times. Like, when 9/11 came around, everybody was patriotic. Everybody was like, hey, I want to join the military. 9/11,
we didn't.
let's go catch Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. And nowadays, you're almost embarrassed to tell people you're a veteran because of how they treat you. Oh, you went over
Yeah,
there and did what? You're a baby killer? You went over there and fought for oil? Like, okay, I didn't ask to do that. I signed a contract as a man, and they did everything that I asked of them. So why can't I do it for that? Nowadays, you're embarrassed to tell people you're a veteran because they look down upon you. I mean, when 9/11 happened, everybody and their brother was running to hire veterans, and now they
yeah,
look down on you like you're a piece of shit or you're a second class
yeah,
citizen or something. Because everybody's at this divide right now where it's like, look, if you don't believe what I believe, then fuck you. It's like,
You're a
okay, we can
Nazi.
have we can have a difference in opinion. You're rarely going to find anybody that agrees with you 100% on any level, whether it's your significant other, a friend, a family member. But we can agree to disagree. That's okay. You can have your opinion and I can have mine. But don't look down on my opinion just because you have a different one. That doesn't make you better than me or holier than thou. But nowadays, people are like, you get the veterans coming back, you get people that target veterans specifically. Now,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, those people that do target the veterans have a bad day. But I mean,
I think you froze.
it's becoming to the they'll let them have cell phones and
Yeah.
basic training because everybody's a fucking pussy.
Yeah, dude,
And
it's
they've
softer
got
than
fucking
baby shit now, bro.
it's
They're
fucking
not
stupid.
doing ruck marches out here.
I
It's
can
fucking
promise you.
ridiculous.
I can promise you. I am afraid for this country right now with the current military we have. I can't speak on the other branches of service because I don't know them specifically, but I know in particular the Army is a bunch of
Army's got
whiny ass
soft.
little fucking
Yeah,
bitches.
yeah.
They don't
Dude,
build them like
I
they used
hear.
to.
Well, it's because the Mothers of America have fucking affiliated 100% into it now. Like they can pull out their ace card and be like, I'm stressed out, and the drill sergeant's got to stop, man. Like,
They don't even do shark drills anymore. What the fuck?
dude, that's the craziest thing. Fucking shark attack, right? Basic training, dude. Like, I got my balls smoked off. Like, I was this close. I was a freaking pubic hair away from fucking being like, I want to go home, bro. I didn't have
Oh yeah,
Jonathan
so was I.
Mates. Yo, Jonathan Mates is like right next to me, dude. He's one of my battle buddies for base training, and he was a stud, bro. And he fucking kept me motivated. Like, this is gonna end soon, bro. Keep your chin up, man. Keep going. And they were smoking him twice as hard because he was helping me out, bro. Like, I was like this little fat guy. Like, oh man,
Dude,
I'm way
no.
too
You,
fat for
you,
this
you
shit.
think it was bad. You think it was bad. Not only did the fucking the coaches know like I was a state, champion wrestler, all this shit. Bro, I fucking broke the record mile run time at Fort Sill. The record
Oh
was 4 minutes
shit.
and 59 seconds, and I ran it in 4 minutes and 56 seconds. As soon as we got there, they go, "Who's the private that broke the record?" And they're like, "You better tell me now, because if I have to go fucking figure it out for myself, which I can, I'm gonna be fucking pissed." And I was like, right here,
Shit.
because I ran it in 4 minutes and 56 seconds.
Oh snap, boy. That's fast as fuck, dude. But so listen, I know we want to talk about it quick, and do you want to tell your story about your battle buddy that recently passed away? Maybe to reach
Yeah,
out and like,
man, that hurt my heart. You know, um,
I,
a lot of the things going on in this country right now, it's all fucking racially motivated. Like you're black, you're white, you're Asian. There's always some sort of divide. You're Christian, you're Catholic, you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're gay, there's always some sort of divide, which is what they want because they fear us working together the most. And the reason I said, in a non-gay
divide and
way, as
conquer.
the military would say, no homo. My battle buddy was black. I loved the shit out of that dude. I mean, I would have done anything and everything under the sun within reason for him. I know his family, I know both of his ex wives, and I got the call. I was helping a friend out. I won't name drop. He knows who he is if he's watching this right now. I was helping a friend out with something he needed help with, and I got the call from his ex wife. And it didn't register at first. I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" And she was like, "Miles is gone." And I'm like, "What?" Like I was like, "What the fuck just happened? What are you talking about?" I just fucking talked to him not long ago. So it didn't register at first. I'd say about 7 or 8 hours later, I'm like, "Nah, you gotta be fucking kidding me." I just heard his fucking voice. About 7 or 8 hours later, dude, I'm not afraid to say it. I cried down. I broke down and I cried like a bitch. I couldn't fucking handle it. I mean, because when you're in the military, you don't see the color of people's skin. All you see
No.
is that they bleed red. You don't even care what the sex is. If they're male or female, you don't give a fuck. All you care about is they're willing to put their life on the line right beside you to know that they've got your back. That's somebody you can count on. In the military, you don't get a whole bunch of battle buddies. You have one
No.
fucking battle buddy. And his name was George Samuel Miles, black guy. He was the shit. My kids met him. My family met him. He was awesome. And it turned out, I know a lot of veterans have issues like this. he was hanging out with the wrong crowd. I convinced him to get away from me, go to his mom's. Then he went back out on his own again, and I kind of feel somewhat to blame because he was doing the air conditioner repairman school, and he was doing really well at it. And then he asked me about getting his disability packet, and I helped him get it. Well, he stopped going to the air conditioner repairman school because he got his disability. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You've only got like 2 or 3 more months. That's a trade school. You can make some good money doing that shit.
Yeah.
And he didn't listen. Turned out that he, from what they say, which I don't believe, which that's a whole different story. I've got questions for the police down in Oklahoma City and everything, but they supposedly said he drank himself to death. And unfortunately, in the veteran community, that's one of the vices that veterans tend to use to drown out the pain is alcohol. And I know from my personal experience, January 5th, I drink a lot, but I also do it in moderation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my personal experience was I drowned my thoughts out with methamphetamines. I was in the military. I came back from Iraq. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All I knew was I was in my head. I knew I couldn't smoke weed because they were gonna fucking pop me on a fucking piss test. So at first I started with fucking coke, and I'd snort it on a
Yeah.
Friday. I knew by Monday it would get out of my system. Then after I got out of the military, I graduated into crack. Got out of the military, went down, started working at Chili's as a cook, became a manager, started smoking meth. One day this dude was like, hey man, you want to get a lot higher? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I just want to get out of my head. I started shooting up meth. And then one day, I was just sitting there, and after I've been fucked over so many times, I was like, dude, you know what? All the people that do this are liars, thieves, and snitches. And
Yeah.
I'm neither one of these things.
Yeah.
And I stopped shooting up meth cold turkey. I was just done. I went to a
Wow.
rehab through the VA. The program that they offer through the VA is not bad. They feed you 3 times a day. I just didn't believe in the message because this one lady that was a counselor there was like, you mean to tell me that you can go back home and you can smoke weed and drink beer and you'll never fucking touch meth again? I said, you're fucking right, because I made a conscientious decision. Then I
Yeah.
had another counselor that had never been addicted to a drug in his life. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to sit here and preach drug addiction to a bunch of veterans when, number one, you're not a veteran, and number two, you've never been addicted to a drug in your fucking life? Now, don't
Yeah.
get it twisted. Addiction comes in many forms. You can eat a cheeseburger every day from McDonald's. That's an
Yeah.
addiction. You can drink a Coke every day. That's an addiction. You can
Addiction.
smoke weed every day. Addiction comes in many forms. But I mean, I was like, you've literally never been addicted to any drug, and you're preaching drug addiction to a bunch of drug addicted veterans, and you expect us to have confidence and fucking have faith in what the fuck you say. Like, get the fuck out of my face with this bullshit. I ended up getting kicked out early, but I stopped shooting up meth. I only went there
Yeah.
not because I got in any legal trouble, because my dad told me, he was like, son, I won't believe that you quit shooting up meth unless you go to rehab. And my
Yeah.
dad just looked at me one day, and I thank him for this. It was the girl that I was with at the time that fucked me over real bad. She kind of pushed me towards that point. My dad just looked at me, and he was like, son, do you want to lose your family over this shit? And I said, no, sir. And he's like, I'm not going to believe that you stopped shooting up meth unless you go to fucking rehab. And I was like, yes, sir. And I went to rehab.
See, that's the thing, is like a lot of people don't understand. Like, I don't believe that a lot of people have these outlooks that anyone that was an addict or addicted to drugs are pieces of shit, man. Like, bro, like I've had people that were addicts be the most loyal fucking friends of mine, man. Like,
I never stole anything. I never lied to people. I never ratted anybody out. Knock on wood, I never got in any legal trouble. But I mean, just the quality as a whole of the people. And you also got to figure, I mean, like, birds of a feather flock together. Like, even if you
yeah,
didn't do meth, if you were hanging out with a bunch of meth heads, people are going to assume you fucking do meth.
I'm not gonna do math.
So,
Yeah,
and I just didn't want to be involved in any of it anymore. Because, I mean, who's to say that I'm not riding with somebody that does meth, and even though I think they're cool, all of a sudden I get fucking pulled over. And this dumb fuck drops a bag of meth in my fucking car, and
and
because
you're the
it's
one
not
going
in
to
his
jail.
pocket, and I'm going down for that shit. I don't have time
Yeah,
for that shit, bro. I've got grown
yeah,
folks shit to do. I don't have
yeah,
time for it.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, is like, I know I had my vices. I was addicted to a lot of things, and basically fucking cocaine. shit like that was like my favorite, bro. And definitely opiates and pills. And that's the thing is like I never stole anything. Like I I was called junkies before by this piece of shit that's actually down here that stole a bunch of shit from me when I was living with him, Dustin fucking Fairbanks. Fuck you, dude. But you'll get yours one day. But I looked at him. I was like, bro, like I never stole anything to get my high. Like
No,
I always
it's
just
not just
laid in my
that.
high.
It's like if I'm gonna, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether you're a brother to somebody, whether you're a father, sister, whatever the relationship you may be with somebody, if I choose to invest my time in you, like I'm not gonna waste my fucking time. I want to see
Yeah,
growth. Like, what are you doing to make me a better person? But at the same time, what
yeah,
am I doing to make you a better person? And if you're running around doing meth and cooking meth and getting arrested and fucking stealing shit, I don't have time for that shit. I've got shit to do, grown folks shit to do.
yeah, yeah.
I don't have time for that
Like
shit.
like I said last episode, like dude, like I tell my boy too, and man, like he's one of a big motivator. He's on the majesticas fuck team. He's gonna be having the reminiscing podcast. And I tell him all the time, like, yo, my time is precious, man. It's borrowed fucking time, and I don't got much time. Definitely with my health and shit. Like, I gotta stay focused. I gotta get my shit done, bro. Like, if you're gonna waste my
Yeah,
time, fucking just kick
but
rocks,
it's
bro.
not, you can't go from point A to point D. You have to
Yeah,
go from A, B, C, D, and it's not the path that you choose to take. It's your destination.
it's never,
The
yeah,
shit's not going to happen for you overnight. You have to learn, like, okay,
never.
sometimes you're going to have to take your lumps and your bruises and just be like, okay, I'm going to have to do this first. I'm going to have to be complacent with this for a little bit, go step by step by step by step until you finally reach your goal. And then, you know what? Don't set goals in concrete because they're made to be
Yeah,
shattered. Like, if you
yeah,
just sit there and you make one goal for yourself and you reach it and you stop, you're not, I mean, you bettered
yeah,
yourself
it's
to an
not,
extent, but okay, what are you doing beyond that to continue to
nah.
better yourself? You
Like,
always have to have
like,
goals in mind. I mean, even if they seem
yes,
unrealistic to
dude,
somebody else.
yes. Yes, and that's the thing is, man, you have to have respect for the progress, dude, and like, and man, dude, like I my vision, dude, I don't give a fuck if the next person don't see it, like, and they doubt me, man, that fuels me to keep pushing forward. Like, like I've had people say like, oh, they back me, all these close friends, man, but they won't even dish out $20 to support my mission, or they won't even take the time to fucking subscribe to my YouTube channel or anything to help me follow my goals. But I would fucking support them. They want to be porn stars. They want to have an OnlyFans page. I got you guys. I'll even buy a subscription, even if it's my boy, bro. Like, I ain't looking at
Well,
your fucking OnlyFans, but I'll support you. I'll buy you, buy your subscription. Any of my
shit, for
homegirls, any
six
of that
ninety
shit.
nine a month, I'll look at your butthole. Hell yeah.
Yeah, see, you know.
But
See, like,
you
just,
also have to figure if you don't believe in yourself, the people you're wanting to believe in you are not going to believe in you from the start because you have to show them that aura of confidence. Like, I'm not saying that you can't walk in there acting like your shit doesn't stink, but you have to show that aura of confidence. Yeah, I know what the fuck I'm doing, or at least to some extent, to give them the confidence to believe in you. So you're like, you know what? I may take a few bumps, I may take a few detours along the way, but I have this goal in mind, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd support that goal. But you have to
yeah,
constantly be making strides to ensure that you reach your goals. Because if you're not doing anything to help yourself, who the fuck is going to want to help you?
exactly. And that's the thing is like I push so hard every day to be a better person than I was yesterday. Like, and I don't think people get that. Like, I strive to be someone else, a good role model, someone that like my nieces and nephews and friends can look up to and be like, yo, dude, like that fucking dude, fucking is the epitome of like someone that's chasing his goals. I hate fucking saying dreams. I tell this every time. I don't think dreams is the right term. I think goals are because goals are achievable and dreams are like dreams, man. Like I've
Yeah,
had
but
some
yeah,
dope
I
ass
mean, that
dreams.
kind of makes sense. But at one point, your goals were dreams.
Yes, yes, I guess you're right. Like, I do. Do you believe in manifestation? Do you believe like if you picture it and you manifest it, that you're it's more achievable, because I definitely believe in that, man. Like I definitely believe in that, like you can manifest anything and put your mind to it, because I believe your mind is the strongest thing out there. Like, and I believe
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
manifest something.
some people have vision boards. Some people write it down. Some people go step by step. I've got another veteran buddy. I'm not going to name drop because I don't want to disrespect him, but I mean, he started his own business. He was having trouble getting hired by other people because they were looking down on him, and he just wasn't fitting in with the civilian crowd. So I mean, his goals that he's achieving now were made by the support system he had around him. And at one time, those goals were his dreams. And now he's starting to live the dreams, even though he might not be on the fast track in his mind, or it might not be at the pace he wants. I always try to remind him, like, dude, look where you come. You keep going up and up. You bought a new machine for the business. Yes, okay, you had to shell out the money for that. Yes, okay, you had to buy new tools, you had to buy a new trailer and all this stuff, but you should see your progress from where you were, 8 years ago when you started this business.
Yeah,
Look at all the customer compliments you're getting. Look how your phone is blowing up, how people want you to come to their house to conduct your business. I mean, people are requesting you, and he's a veteran as well, and he rides on his reputation, and he takes care of veterans. He gives them a discount. I won't name drop him, but his business name is K&D Gutters. He'll hook you up on his gutters or on the gutters. He does fascia soffit, pressure washing. But I mean, like he started that gutter business from scratch, and now he may not be where he wants to be at this point, and he gets frustrated at times. But I mean, for him just starting it by himself, I mean, how can you not be proud of yourself? Just like you did with the
yeah,
broadcast, you started it from
yeah,
yourself. Okay, you may not be going at the pace that you want to go at, but eventually you're going to get there. You can't go from A to D. You have to go A, B, C, D. And I mean, like he gets into his head a lot because, like I said, he was a veteran as well. But he's I don't think just he's got many friends because most veterans don't. I don't have many friends, but I try to remind him daily, of how much he truly has. He just got
yeah.
married. I was the best man in his wedding. I mean, he's doing really well for himself. But I mean, just some people just get frustrated and they want it to move faster. And it's like, dude, you can't push results like
And
that.
you know,
You have to work
no,
towards it.
you have to. You just have to have. Nothing's gonna happen overnight. I believe I listened to a quote from Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, and he said, "Yeah, everyone thinks it's gonna happen when they want it to happen. Like when they're gonna achieve what they want to achieve, and what they dream is gonna happen when they want it to happen. It never happens that way. It happens when you least expect it. You just got to be ready for it. You got to be prepared for it. Like, man, like if you asked me, like I barely drink anymore because I really can't, dude, with my chronic kidney disease. And if you asked me fucking a year ago if I was gonna be podcasting or if I was gonna be this sick, I would tell you, like, fuck no, man. I'll be fucking drinking beers, fucking partying, doing cocaine on strippers' butt cracks and shit. But like now, look at me, man. Like I
Yeah,
don't
but I
drink.
mean, I mean,
I focus on the dream.
I'm not saying that veterans are special or whatever. I mean, in my mind, we're no different than police officers, nurses,
Yeah,
EMT
a little
workers.
better
I
than
mean,
them.
we all signed up to do a job, and we were all helping the public. It's just,
Yeah, versus mine.
all those professions tend to see a lot of stuff. But when you're not
Yeah,
getting the help that you need, or you don't have the support system, or you don't know who to talk to, veterans not only deal. I can't speak for police officers, the other professions I mentioned before, but as a veteran,
yeah,
when you're trying to, work things out in your head, try to better yourself or whatever you're trying to do, like with your podcast, my friend with his gutter business, like not only are you trying to go through those steps in your head, but you're trying to deal with the other stuff that's going on in your head as well. And sometimes it can be overwhelming
yeah,
and you're mentally shut down. Now, I can't speak for all these other people, that my friend that owns the gutters or police officers, as I had mentioned before, but I know for me, like sometimes when I get so frustrated, I'm dealing with this and this and this and this, and I always try to think ahead a few moves in case something bad happens or whatever. It's
yeah.
like it becomes
A
overwhelming
contingency
at
plan.
times, and you shut down. I know me, like I said, I can only speak for myself. I shut down. And my normal go-to is I'll go like this. And people know, like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, I'm just thinking. Just leave me alone. Like,
Yeah,
I'm being
yeah,
quiet for a reason. Like, I'm just trying to think. Or I'll go out on my porch and I'll listen to music and drink coffee, and do things like that. Or I'll go, when I was doing MMA, because I haven't been back into it for a while because I've been so busy with life and my kids. I go train at the gym or I go lift weights at the gym. That's why I said those outlets for you to have where it's your nerd zone are very important. It's for anybody,
yes,
but especially with veterans to keep your mind off the things that you're going through.
yeah. And that's the thing. Is like I have to stay motivated, man. I have to stay focused. Definitely with my health problems now, like, or I'll just be back in this black hole of depression and stuff. And I easily see myself capable to slip in any day. And I'm not saying that like I'm not depressed. I'm always fucking feeling down and overthinking too
Well,
much and putting myself down.
you know what? One of the things that I try to do, I fucking hate the VA when they do mental health therapists. Just because, like, in 10 fucking years, they've changed them like every 2.5 years on average. Now, I've had
Hmm.
ones for longer than others. But when I go in there with my mental health therapist, like, I'll try to get personal with them. I'm like, dude, this ain't all about me. Like, what's going on with you? How are you
Yeah,
doing? Because you that's why I think a lot of veterans turn to suicide. Like there was a one veteran who asked for help in Arizona, and the VA turned him down, and he went out in the parking lot and shot himself in the head and committed suicide.
shit.
It's
Yeah,
like, these therapists need to stop thinking of it as a fucking job. I mean, yes, it
yeah.
is, but at the end of the day, you have to connect with each client.
You're
And I know that
connecting. Yeah,
I know that may be difficult because you have numerous clients, but if you can connect with them on a personal level and be like, "What's up, bro?" Like, I'll talk to my fucking therapist just like I talk to you. And I'll tell them
yeah.
right before I get up in there. They know that, look, I'm not swearing at you to be disrespectful. It's my
I'm
vernacular.
just sweating.
It's the way
Yeah,
I talk. But I try to keep it personal with them. So I let them know, like, one of my therapists had cancer, two of them had cancer. And I'm like, dude, it's not all about me. What's up with you? And you
yeah,
build the rapport with them, and you build the relationship up to where you feel more comfortable talking to them, and they can actually give you better help. Because when they think of it
yeah.
just as a job and they're trying to diagnose you, you'll sit there and look at them, the ones that think of it that way, like, what the fuck are you looking at?
We
Are
don't.
you
Yeah,
fucking kidding me?
yeah,
Do your fucking job, man. Oh, are you on these medications? Keep asking you stupid questions, like, are you going to hurt anybody? Bitch, keep asking these dumbass questions and I fucking might. Like, they think about it as a fucking job. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, you have to figure out, like, how to connect to people, no matter what business you're in. If my buddy's doing gutters, he's got to figure out how to connect with that customer and that client to sell them on that job and to get on a personal level with him where they trust him enough to go do his gutters. You got to get
yeah,
podcasts, people tune into your podcast. You
yeah,
have to convince people and get on a personal level with them. Hey, tune into my podcast. This is what it's about. This is what I'm
yeah.
trying to do for the veteran community. You have, no matter what you're trying to sell, even if you're not financially selling something, you have to sell people on your
So,
idea and what you're all about for
yeah,
them to believe in you.
yeah,
And those
yeah.
therapists, the ones at the VA, they don't do that shit.
No, not at all, man.
They
I've
treat you
heard.
like a number. They don't treat you like a person. They treat you like a fucking number. Hurry up, say what you got to say, get the fuck out of my office. Like, dude, are
That,
you
but
fucking
that's that,
kidding me?
that. I feel like that's the whole VA altogether. Is like they're constantly. I've got in there. I've claimed I was having trouble sleeping and anxiety, and they literally like, "What drug do you want then? You want Seroquel? You want fucking?" And it's like that's why we have so many veterans getting addicted to fucking opiates because they let big pharma run it, dude. They don't give a fuck. Like one day, my back was killing me. I went to the VA in New York, Castle Point, and the lady literally brought up. She's like, "What are you allergic to? Are you allergic to OxyContin or anything?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, they're willing to
No,
give me whatever
they
fucking drug
they
I
gave
said.
me an opportunity to get on pills for my back and my knee because I'm service connected for that. And I was like, no. I didn't ask you for narcotics. I asked you
Yeah,
for something to ease my pain. And I was like, quite frankly, I don't want to be on narcotics because of my past history. Not that I couldn't do it, but I just don't want to tempt myself like that and go to a different vice. I'm actually trying
yeah,
to do something constructive with my life. I'm not trying to get off of one drug and then go back to another.
but do that.
Like I don't want to. I don't want to pump myself full of pharmaceuticals. That's why I don't take half
Yeah,
my meds in the VA unless I have to. You know, it's like, fuck, dude, just make weed legal everywhere. Dude, okay, you got a combat veteran
And
that's
poor
hyped up,
veterans.
that's thinking he's
And
violent.
poor veterans.
Yeah, let
And
that
poor
dude
veterans.
smoke a blunt and eat a bowl of fucking Fruity Pebbles, and I bet you he'll calm the fuck down.
Yeah, yeah. Like one of the sponsors that I've been talking to for this podcast, Weed for Warriors, man. Like it sucks that no matter if it's legal in a state like Colorado, it's still not for the VA to issue a veteran his card, medical marijuana card. And so at some points, I believe that like even if you get your medical marijuana card and you have your claims and you have your percentage in the VA, they fucking rip that shit up. You start smoking weed and you start going out of the VA to get your medicine, and that's what sucks, dude. Like, and I believe
It
you could,
depends, bro. It depends because the Murfreesboro VA, like, they know I smoke, and they don't really fuck with me. Even my therapist was like, dude, you should be smoking weed. He goes, I have no problem with meat. He goes, unfortunately, it's illegal. He goes, I wish they
yeah,
would make it legal, but you know, I can't write you a script for it. You know, that's like
yeah,
with my anxiety and stuff. You know, I've had to be defibrillated before because my heart rate was up to like 200 beats a minute and I couldn't breathe. I'm like, dude, will you write me a note for not wearing a mask? Because I can't be confined. And they're like, you know what?
yeah,
I really want to, but they're like, the VA is pushing, you know, the higher ups of the VA are pushing the agenda that they don't want us to be writing notes for that. They want veterans to try to work through it themselves. And I'm like,
yeah,
man, see, that's why I don't fucking come here for help, bro. Y'all don't do a motherfucking thing but except collect the fucking paycheck and look at me
yeah,
like I'm fucking stupid.
yeah. And
And
that's
then
the thing is like that.
they wonder why veterans say the VA is broken and why they're seeking outside help. I'm not even trying to get political here because I don't get into politics. But one of the things that Trump did was that he went out and said, "Look, okay, the VA is broken," and he acknowledged that. And he was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, you know, like I don't know if a lot of veterans know it. If you're 100% service connected, you can also get your state insurance. Like, I can get 10 care, so I'll go to the
yeah.
VA for
I need
my
I need to jump
mental
on that.
health. Yeah, I would go to the VA for my mental health, and then I would go to the civilians for my physical care because they take a lot better care of us, you know.
Yes, yes,
And one of the things that Trump did when he was in office was he said, "Okay, I understand the VA is broken. We need to fucking do something. These people need help." He put in the law where you can seek, you know, help outside of the VA and you know bypass the VA altogether, which is one of the best things he probably did.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing is like you were telling me about 10 care. I need to get on the 10 care because it's not the VA is not helping, man. Like I'm constantly sick.
It's
Um,
really sad. It's really sad when the same people that you're asking for help from, you have to learn to navigate their system and jump through these fucking hoops of fire and learn all the bullshit. And you know, basically, like that's where I learned my moniker. You show me the rules, and I'll teach you how to break them.
yeah,
And you have to
yeah,
learn their
yeah,
ins and outs to where you have to find a way to fucking play, you know, fucky fuck with them, basically patty cake to work around their system to actually get the help that you really need because like I said, they
yeah,
think of you as a number. They don't think of you they don't think of me as Ryan Hall, Rabbit Rhino, even though that's my
yeah,
nickname. They're like, okay, this is veteran number, da 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 da.
yeah.
You know,
Your last board.
they don't care.
Yeah, and that's what breaks my heart, man. Like you can ask my roommates, and they see the struggle, dude. Like right now, I'm fucking feeling my kidneys suck. The meds they got me on got me feeling like fucking shit. Like I'm and like literally, it took me to be like, yo, dude, like I have these things coming out that should not be on me, that normally not there, to push for even them to think, oh yeah, you're kind of fucked up. Like we need to actually kind of try to move this along. Like, and then like the last minute, they're like, you got to go to Nashville. I'm like, you know, like Nashville's like 3 hours away, and like I can't just jump on that. Like you got to like help me plan this out, bro. Like and I'm blessed to have a great VA officer, Susan Pegler, like that like helps me out with these things, man. But like I need better fucking medical, man. Like I need to be able to go see who I want to see because the VA, I have a one doctor 1 week, and then I don't have another the other week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And
just, I mean, it's a shit show up there. I mean, some VAs are better than others. Like I've dealt with the Tampa VA, they fucking suck. James A. Haley, I don't give a fuck if they know. The Murfreesboro is pretty good, VA.
yeah, I heard there's
Nashville,
yours though.
Nashville is pretty well too. I think they're the second in the nation behind one in California somewhere.
Yeah,
I have
I have
another
to do a
buddy.
specialist down there.
Yeah, I have another buddy that has to deal with one in Alabama, and he's like, dude, they fucking suck. You know, I mean, it's a shit show. It really is. And a
I
lot of
do.
the time, their problem is they bring in these civilians that were never in the military. That can't really. That's like when you were in the military. 9 times out of 10, the best officer that you ever had was somebody that was enlisted prior that became an officer. So they bring in these civilians in the VA who are like, I don't give a fuck. What do I give a shit? You have to bring in the veterans that actually care about veterans that want to do their job. That they're not there to collect a paycheck. They actually want to care about the veterans. Okay, what do you need, bro? Like, what can I help you with? Or what can I help you with, ma'am? You know, because there's female veterans too. I mean, bro's a gender neutral term in my book. So is dude.
Yes, 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 yeah. So dude.
But I mean, like, what do you need? They need people like that.
So listen, we're gonna wrap this up because I'm starting to feel like shit, and we're about that time anyway. Do you have anything you want to give shout out to the veteran community or let them know? Because listen, my big thing is letting these veterans know that they are not alone, man. That we're all in this together.
I
So,
will
do you
tell
have
you
anything?
this. I don't know how many followers you have. Do not call me first. You've got my phone number, isn't Sean? You've got my phone number for any veteran. For any veteran that is watching this podcast or watches it in the future, if you want to text me first, because I won't answer phone numbers I won't know, and you think about doing something to yourself, my fucking line is open. Text me at 423-243-4187. And I can promise you I will get to you as soon as I fucking can. But you are not in this fight alone. There's a whole bunch of veterans out there that will have your back, even if I don't know you from Adam and Eve. I don't care if you're a fucking Vietnam veteran. I don't care if you're a Gulf War veteran and Operation Iraqi Freedom, Enduring Freedom, or I don't care if you've never even been deployed. If you think about doing something that to yourself, call me if you don't have confidence in talking to anybody else, and I will not judge you. 423-243-4187. You can either call me by Rhino or Ryan. I can promise you I will pick up that phone. I will get to you as soon as I can, and I will talk you out of the bad place that you're in.
And hey, with that too, my name is Shawn-jose. You guys know that. You can call me 845-594-8377, and I'll do whatever I can. Definitely, I have connections to help any veteran that's going through a homeless thing, Volunteers of America, and I can help as much as possible, and that's what we're here for. This is Majestic AF. This is a team. This is a movement, just not a podcast. It's us veterans helping out each other. And Rhino, thank you so much for being my guest.
No problem, brother. Thanks for having me
It
on.
was
Y'all take
awesome.
care.
I love you. Hey, take care, guys. Love y'all.
Thank you, bro.
And this is Majestic as fuck. Stay majestic, guys. Love y'all. Peace.